Hello friends, welcome to Technoy channel. Today we'll discuss about conditional rendering in React. Let's get started with a simple index.html file with simple HTML markup. And inside the body we'll create a division tag with ID root. This will act as our JSX container. Whichever the element we'll create will be getting attached to it. And I shall include the React core, React DOM and Babel using script tag. For the production usage, I would recommend you should use Webpack or any other JavaScript modular. So finally, I'll include app.js file with type text/Babel, and this is the file we're going to create and write all our JSX or JavaScript or React code. So let's create app.js file. Here we define a functional component, conditional, and we'll return a division wrapped h1 element, and using the React DOM.render, we'll use this conditional as an element tag. So whichever the code is written by the conditional will be getting render, and we'll attach to this root tag, what we created in index.html file. And there is a small typo error above, change to functional to function, and in the right hand side you can able to see conditional rendering displayed correctly. That means our React setup worked fine. So you can see my first couple of videos. I gone more slowly and explain in detail about how to create. So here my primary goal objective is to show the conditional rendering. So let me give two properties, name as John and gender is male. And based upon the gender, I would like to display or return a couple of different elements. And in the conditional, I'll give props, and below h1 tag, I created a paragraph tag. Here I access hello Mr. props.name. So in the right hand side, if you can see, hello Mr. John is got displayed. So this return tag, I would like to, based upon the gender, I will use some traditional if-else condition to start with. So if gender is male, I would like to display hello Mr. name, and if gender is female, I would like to display hello Mrs. and the name. Okay. So let me use the simple if-else condition. Here I have checked props.gender equal to male. And there I copy this return statement, and I'll duplicate this in the else statement as well, and only change the salutation from Mr. to Mrs. Okay. So this setup will work just fine. So if I change name to Ellie and gender to female and save and reload, if you can see in the right hand side, hello Miss Ellie is being displayed. Now I'll create, some few more component individually to render this based upon the gender. So I created a greeting female component where I'll return this paragraph hello miss, and I'll use inside the conditional component that greeting female whatever created. Same thing let me do for the greeting male. So this approach you can use if you have to, there are so many different element you need to display based upon certain condition. So you can, encapsulate into its individual component and you can reuse it. But still there is no much difference. So instead of creating two different components, let me create one component, and based upon the gender, I'll return the individual salutation, inside greeting. Instead of creating greeting male and greeting female, let me create a greeting component only. So based upon the male, let me return the, hello Mr. And if it is female, let me return the hello miss. Okay. So let me get rid of this little bit, simplify it. I think this approach looks a bit cleaner. And in the conditional, I have not used the if-else condition, and that if-else condition I moved to greeting. But in the greeting, I need to pass the gender property as well. So here I give the props.gender, right? So if you change the, in the below, gender is male and name is Steve. So in the right hand side, you can see hello Mr. Steve is displayed. Now, if you remember, in the initial videos, I have explained about a new concept, which is known as spread attribute. So this is the very good use case. Instead of passing the name and gender again and again, we can use the spread attribute syntax. So let me get rid of name and gender, and inside that JavaScript expression or inside curly bracket, we can use triple dot and props. So whichever the argument we pass before in the rec.render will be moved to the greeting component. So the name and gender will be passed. Okay, this is the use of spread attribute. So our looks more cleaner, right, and precise. So if I change to gender female, and it would be, and hello Miss Steve is being displayed. So there is one more approach, let me show. So I'll define a variable salutation, because if you see, both the paragraphs are exactly same. Only the Mr. and Miss is different. So based upon the conditional check, based upon the gender, I can put that Mr. or Mrs. into the variable, and I can use that variable instead of returning two, paragraph tag, right? So salutation, in case of male, I put in as Mr. and just let me return it in the below. And in the female, I am returning Mrs., right? And in the return tag, so instead of Mr. or Mrs., I'll use the curly bracket notation and access this salutation local variable. So basically, if it is male, so hello Mr. will be printed, and if it is Mrs., hello Mrs. will be printed. So let me change to, gender is male and name is John. So if you save and reload, if you can see in the right hand side, hello Mr. John is being displayed. So if I change to female and save and reload, so it would be displayed Miss Steve. Okay. Now let me, undo the changes, because I will explain another concept. So instead of male, let's for some example, we don't want to return anything. So what will happen? So the first, before we go into that, our gender is female. So Miss Steve is being displayed. But if I change, gender is to male and save and reload, there is some exception occurred, because returning nothing is not allowed in JSX. Okay. So we must have to return something to make it error free. So one quick and easy fix would be to return a div tag, right, with empty div tag, because in the output side we won't see anything. So that will solve our purpose. And if you see in that inspector and expand the element tab, below H1, there is the empty div tag is present. But I don't like this approach, because it is, introducing additional element or attribute which may mingle with, CSS, layout, other scheme. And why should we create an extra div where there is no need? So instead of empty div tag, we can return null. And if you see, there is no element is being created, right? Okay. Now, even though without creating if-else condition, let me use another operator known as tertiary operator, which is represented by, a question mark. This is available in most of the programming language, so you may be aware of it or come across. So what I did, so if the props.gender is equal to male, if the condition is satisfied, the null will be written. If the condition is false, then the second thing will be written. For example, hello Miss. In our case, gender is male, so null will be written. So in the right hand side below conditional rendering, nothing is got displayed. Right? If I change to name to Elena and gender to female, if you see, the second thing will be written. So hello Miss Elena will be being printed, right? So you should, you can use this ternary operator if you like to. And if you want to put some condition inside this, curly bracket, inside the conditional itself, I don't want to create additional, component. If I have to just based upon certain condition, I want to display a simple element like paragraph tag or something, how to achieve it. So there is another way to achieve using two ampersand. This is known as short circuit operator. Okay. So what I will do, circuit operator, if the condition props.gender equal to male is true, then only the second part will be executed and written. If the first condition is false, the second part won't be executed at all. It won't go. It won't process that. Okay. So for example, our gender is male. Now save and reload. Female. So nothing is got printed. But if I change gender is to male and Rahul, so the first condition will be satisfied. Then only the second thing will be rendered. And in this case, hello, Mr. Rahul, right? And let me create another expression like props.gender, female. So hello, Miss. So same case. If you change to female Ellie, so hello, Miss Ellie will be printed based upon the second condition. This is the also approach if you can use in your, any of your solution. So now if I don't want to do this, short circuit or, or ternary operator, but I would like to use traditional if-else condition. Is it possible to give this traditional if-else condition inside a curly bracket? Let's see that. Inside if like props.gender, I comparison male, and here I am returning take. But if you save and reload, there is a syntax error. What does it say? Like, we cannot give if-else condition inside JavaScript expression. We can call any method, we can, use short circuit operator, ternary operator, but we cannot write any kind of looping syntax inside if. But if you really want to do that, how to do that? Is it possible? Yes, there is a way we can write if-else condition inside a curly bracket. So for doing that, we have to wrap this if-else inside a function notation. This is a short form of calling a function, anonymous function this is known as. And using fetch arrow key, so we can embed using a curly bracket. This is the function declaration. Okay. So we have to wrap inside another curly bracket and you have to call it. So this will immediately call. So this is known as immediately invocation function, right? So whenever this JavaScript expression will be encountered, whatever the content of the function will be immediately get executed. But if you see in the right hand side, nothing got printed, nothing got displayed because we have gender is female. Ideally, hello Miss, Ellie should be displayed. Because here inside the function, we cannot just place it like that, like paragraph tag. We have to explicitly return it because this is a function which is getting called and we have to return it. So if you try to use return keyword and save and reload, hello Miss Ellie is being displayed. If you change it to male James, then hello Mr. James is being displayed. So in this video tutorial, we have discussed various ways to use conditional rendering. It is up to you which of the approach is more comfortable, and depending upon the scenario, sometimes if this code is too much, you want to put condition, you to differentiate with different component would be more helpful. But if you like to, want to based upon some condition, want to, return one or two element, then using short circuit or ternary operator would be better choice. So you can decide which one to approach. Hope you learned something today. Thanks for watching. Drop a like, leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe. Have a good day ahead. Bye-bye.